No intro, no outro, straight fire. All right, so I realized that why am I doing a weekly recap when I post my trades every single day? So there'll be no more weekly recaps um, due to the fact that I do post my trades every single day. Uh, so I'm just going to go into next week's outlook for the trading week. Um, so for UJ, I have bearish next week, and then EU, AU, GU, I have bullish. Um, so some things that are kind of like surrounding my bias with that uh, is that the dollar, the DXY, pretty much has been sliding to multi-year lows. With expectations of Feds easing and the ongoing, the dollar index selling due to like global investors. So due to the summer seasonality, and if you don't know about seasonality, I suggest you to study it. Due to summer seasonality and technical momentum, kind of reinforced the bearish week for me for the DXY. So we already know that if the DXY is bullish, anything with USD in the front is going to be bullish. Has a very strong correlation. So USD JPY, USD CHF, USD CAD, anything with USD on the back end is going to have bears. The opposite inverse of that. So being the fact that I have a bearish bias for the DXY next week, AUD USD, EUR USD, GBP USD all bullish, and USD JPY bearish. As you can see, I already kind of set, well, not already kind of set, I set my pending orders, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you where my pending orders is. So in the interest of keeping my charts fairly clean, I just did the eyeballs at the POCs. So let's get into it. First things first, put on the daily profile. I have my eyeball and the limit set down here because if you zoom out, price closed above the value area high on Wednesday, June the 4th. So this is actually an area of interest for me to enter in on again, even though there has already been an entry on that point. Price already mitigated this POC. Again, I think I said this on my previous video that anytime there's consolidation, price tends to go back to those consolidated areas. I don't know why it happens. It happens. Well, I do know why it happens, but don't really want to go into it on this video. But I have my eyeball set for that area again. So if price wants to come back and test it, I can get in on that entry. Another eyeballed area that I have as well, and this is not based off of this POC. This is actually based off of a session volume profile. So just going to go ahead, pull up my session volume profiles. As you can see, price today closed above the value area high. So this enticed and this induced this area of interest for me for my POC. So I went ahead and set a pending order for right there. So again, not going to do the projections because it kind of gets a little bit cluttered. Just opted to do just the eyeballs. All right, boom. Next pair, EUR USD. So I have three potentials, really four potentials. I don't think price is going to get this low with the euro. Something bad really has to happen if price gets this low with the euro on the session profile. But that's neither here nor there. So as you can see, again, price closed above New York session. I have my eyeballs right here for buys. Didn't set a pending order yet because I kind of want to see how price reacts with the opening of the market. Don't believe that price is going to drop all these pips in order to execute my trade, but you never know. And if in a time it does, then I'll just enter in on a rebound. Again, I have my eyeball set on this POC closed above the New York value area high. All right, now put on my daily session. Boom, there goes my eyeball. I see it. Because price closed above Wednesday, July the 11th value area high, that's the area of interest for me based off of the POC. Great British Pound USD, again, eyeball closed above Wednesday, June the 11th daily session high. So this is a point of control. Excuse me, this is the area of interest for me on this point of control. Boom. So again, got my eyeball on that. And then price is starting to like peak above here. It closed above this value area high, but I don't really like these types of close. I like close like this where it clear that shit. Excuse my language. So closes that close on the value area, I don't really like it like that because they tend not to play out. Let's go down to the sessions. All right, boom. So another area of interest right here, this POC. Price closed above New York sessions high. Interested in that. So again, have a pending order set for that. Don't see any other POCs in any of the sessions that kind of interest me. So I'm going to keep my bias or keep my area of interest. And then last but not least, USD JPY. Looking for bearish move. This, even though I'm in on this trade, I don't know what I was thinking. I really should have waited. Acting out of emotions. Well, really not even acting out of emotions. Acting out of like just doing the same things over and over and over again. Repetitions, rep and set. So that's why I'm in this trade. I'm in a little bit of drawdown. That's cool. It's neither here or there. It is what it is. This is another area of interest for me. I literally just said that I don't really like when price close on the value area, but I noticed with UJ, like if it closed in the general vicinity, it's gonna clap it and then fall down. If we go to the sessions, as you can see again, price closed below Wednesday, July the 11th on value area low. So this POC is an area of interest for me. I got asked a question. Someone found me on Instagram and asked me a question like, hey, if I could study anything, what would I study? What can I study? And I'm going to tell you this and be very truthful and honest with it. Every trading strategy works, right? You just have to find your edge. Once you find your edge, you're good. You're good to go. That's really the only advice that I can give. I've been trading volume profile really all this year, end of last year, all this year, and it works for me, right? But you can't just hop in a trade saying, oh, this closes below or above the value area high. Let me just enter in all this with no directional bias. So there's that. Hopefully I was able to, answer some questions. As for the DXY, same thing, looking for sells. I can't trade the DXY because I don't have that much money. I have trade a regulated broker. You have to have over $250,000 to trade DXY in Oanda. So I don't trade it. But looking for continuation of the sells. The DXY, the reason why I like it is because it kind of gives me a gauge on how far price is going to pull back before going to wherever it needs to go. So here, and let me see if I can find my measuring tool and do it like some type of proximity. But here, if the DXY pulls back, this is their equivalent to their pip, right? 286 pips. Let me see if I can find a better measuring tool. All right, boom. DXY pulls back right here, right? I can, in theory, copy, paste, and see at or about how much either drawdown I'm going to be in or if my POC is going to get ran through. As of right now, my POC is not going to get ran through. So that's kind of how I use the DXY as well. Right here, I'll be in a little bit of drawdown. Right here, the likelihood of my trade getting hit down here is very not likely. The likelihood of my trade getting hit right here on this POC is very likely. So hopefully that makes, a little bit of sense as to where my head is at and what I'm thinking when I trade. More than likely, this is not going to get hit, this POC right here. Just based off of, again, the DXY. All right, so no intro, no outro, straight fire.